The burden in this case rests squarely on the state and never shifts to the defendant. It's the same right that I have, that you have, that all of us have in this country. And it's what makes our country work and protects the rights of our citizens. So don't think it's downplayed, and there is reasonable doubt abundant. We're going to go over some of it in this case. What you heard from the state is they were going to come up and they were going to show motive. Oh, he was in there, he was mad. He got mad because they wouldn't let him box that night. Tim Trammell says he was fine. He wasn't mad, he was good to go. Well, you know, again, the state tells you a lot and they want you to presume Robert's guilty. You can't presume that. And they sure as heck hadn't proved it. What do we know about this fire? Reasonable doubt number one. No known ignition. The fire investigators that went to the fire, they don't know. They just figured that, well, they just guessed. That it must be arson. Did you take any samples? Did you send them to the crime lab? Well, no. I couldn't figure out what else caused it, so it must be arson. Well, the law says there is a presumption and the burden of proof is on them beyond a reasonable doubt. Did they make an attempt? Reasonable doubt number two, to find an accelerant. Well, no, I didn't look for it. It was in a garage. Well, guess what? There are all kinds of things that cause fires. You know, again, it comes back to opening statements. I told you that you were going to find a case where the state throws a bunch of stuff on the wall and wants you to connect the dots. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, you know, where you look at the picture and you have the pieces. Well, the problem here, the state hadn't got a complete picture to tell you what the puzzle looks like, and 2/3 of the pieces are missing. Grainy, hazy video that you've seen, or videos, where you're unsure of the individual, and frankly, I'm unsure even of some of the identifying things that Officer Hill claims he sees on there. You know, the human mind is fun. When we decide something is factual, we create ways to support our belief. I don't know that he did it intentionally, but I think he felt pressure to solve it. I think he created in his mind this belief and then went about, I hate to God to think it's maliciously done, but went about trying to create a case to show that this young man was guilty. You know, he testified that he couldn't be sure who was driving it. And you saw it. I had trouble seeing anybody even get out or go in or contact the building, much less identify. There's no tag number. Of course, it had solid black tires and no silver on it. He says it had a winch, but then he says, well, I don't know. I couldn't see it. You know, and one other thing, one of those videos, talking about the videos, the one that I recall, and I hope you will, it was one of the Metro videos, and they're showing the fire truck come in, and the fire truck, it looks like first pulls in one parking lot and backs up and pulls in another one. Well, you know, as they pull in that other parking lot, guess what I saw in the video? Another silver or white truck sitting there. That looks an awful lot like the one in the video. Did we check it out? Duh. No. We got our hand. We're not looking for that. We're not checking that out. Reasonable doubt about this point, number 14. And I know that you will take your obligation very seriously in looking at the evidence and the lack of evidence. God knows the lack of evidence in this case. The one thing that seems like it's been proved is that he was there, he got along with everybody, he left, and there's no proof he came back out of it. And again, I cannot help but go back to Hill because he was really the crux of what they claimed their case was. And he says, nope, couldn't have been that truck. The wheels are different. Well, guess what? The wheels are identical. So if it couldn't have been that truck because the wheels are different, then it couldn't have been that truck. And his identifying marks, again, it's stunning that they want you to convict on somebody who admits he went by, drove by, looked at Robert Wright's truck, and then filled his paperwork out. And then admits to you, after telling you one of the identifying characteristics, the big thing was the winch on the front. and he admitted to you from the stand, out of his own mouth, that he could not tell from those videos that there was a winch on that truck. But that became one of his key identifying marks. And if you follow your oaths and your conscience and listen to the lack of evidence, that you can reach and return only one verdict in this case, and that is a verdict of not guilty.